Welcome to Tribe Talks with Archer Point Retail. Today, our retail experts, Kayla Magnan and Thomas Nielsen, are broaching the subject of customer engagement and brand loyalty. There's a lot to cover in our 30 minutes together today, so I'm going to go ahead and get it turned over to you, Kayla.
Thanks, Suzanne, for opening this session. Hello and welcome, everyone. We have been diving into some really great topics over these past weeks. We do appreciate all of your feedback along the way. And just to remind everyone again, we do record each session and we have them available through our website, or you can find them on YouTube. And as always, feel free to reach out to myself or Thomas directly for further information. You can find our emails at the end of the session displayed on the slide. So Thomas, thank you for joining us for 3 sessions in. And while all these topics seem to kind of have a natural flow with the current trend, I personally think this is another topic that can really impact a business and especially their brand. So with today's talk around customer engagement and brand loyalty, first let's start with kind of a general, why would a loyalty program be beneficial?
Yeah, Kayla, I can't believe this is the 3rd session already, but let me start out by saying thank you to you and Suzanne for having me. It is, as always, greatly appreciated. As we all know, it is a fact that this pandemic has led to many retailers to close stores temporarily or permanently, and most of us now shifting to do all shopping online. Some of our retailers has realized this over the last 8 to 12 weeks, that they don't have a good way to stay in contact with the majority of their customers. With a loyalty program in place, that would have been a completely different story. So the way I see it, loyalty programs are like cars. From an outsider perspective, there's not much difference between them. Cars get you from point A to point B, while loyalty programs help you retain customers, right?
But it's the experience that makes the trip different, though.
Yes, and while some people prefer having a speedy sport car, others might need a trusty family car to get their kids to school. In the same vein, retail reward programs differ greatly from brand-focused loyalty programs. So if you wish to succeed as a retailer, it is important to understand which loyalty features are most effective for driving your company's KPIs. A loyalty program can help you keep your current customers that you already have, get more out of the right customers, and improve the customers' retention, understand your customers and their buying behavior.
And while we have outlined a handful of benefits, the key, which has kind of been a key in all of our sessions, is just to really know your customers, understand your audience. It's super important. And now I think it shows more than ever how important it is for retailers to be able to stand out from the competition. Last year alone, it was reported on average, a person will be signed up for 14 memberships, but truly only be active in 6, maybe 7. And for me, I know that's probably more on the lesser side. I probably have signed up for a lot more and probably active in less. So I've always said I'm a retailer shopper, favorite shopper. I'm a sucker for those marketing maneuvers. Even if I only think I'm shopping once, that simple sign up benefit typically can convince me to provide my info. And that's perfect for the brand. They know now I was enticed enough to sign up. Something's going to entice me to come back.
And it's having these programs that can turn a one-time shopper like you, Kayla, into a long-term relationship. And we know it costs 5 times more to attract new customers than retaining the existing ones. So customer retention and bottom line numbers are directly related. Over a period of 5 years, a retailer with 70% customer retention rate will have lost 2 to 3 times as many customers as a retailer with 90% retention rate. Not only does a loyalty program provide a practical reason for continuing to buy, meaning the accumulation of points towards a reward or higher level of service, but it also provides customer information that allows us to meet their needs and address their desires more effectively. I see this as a win-win for everyone.
So a retailer who's building on the relationship would then give them the ability to potentially increase customer basket or even the cart value?
Exactly. Knowing what your best customers buy most frequently can be a boon to your merchandisers. Reports have outlined an average repeat customer spend 67% more after the 2.5 to 3 year mark in the purchasing history compared to the first 6 months. And tie it into incentives. Last year, more than 50% of surveyed customers made 1 to 3 purchases directly because of incentives, and 10% making more than 10 purchases because of incentive. And don't think incentive only being for new or existing customers. There's always a way and an opportunity to win back the lost shopper.
Right. I probably would even consider my initial sign up a type of lost customer to most brand loyalty programs. My intention was just to receive that initial sign up benefit. I really wasn't planning to return and shop again. But, I think I do have a handful of examples where a one-time purchase sign up actually turned me into a multi-purchase program participant.
Yeah, one of the great benefits from having these programs is the data insight your business receives and the ability to act on it. With a customer purchasing history, you could, for example, run a campaign for the last time customers have shopped in the, let's say, last 6 months in a specific zip code, and send them a coupon, a gift, or any other incentive to get them back into the store. And not just lost customers, like in your example, Kayla, but also customers we lost due to a bad experience or for any other reason. In addition, it will entice and attract new customers, since we know that 4 out of 5 people are more likely to engage with brands that offers incentives. That is similar to what we heard in your example, Kayla.
Right. A loyalty program should definitely be meant for the entire audience, the potential, the existing, and what some would even call the boomerang consumer, similar to my example, where they're just buying once, they maybe come back and buy again, but there's really actually no intention to. So the building of the relationship should then start before the sign up and then continue to be built upon through the shopper's life cycle, whether actively engaged with you or still searching. And I think, as anyone can guess, formulating a solid relationship from the beginning reaps many following benefits. In addition to some of the reports already mentioned, over half of surveyed consumers shop at brands they have loyalty programs with once a month. And other statistics show just a 7% increase in loyalty can boost lifetime profit per customer by as much as 85%. And consumers are just providing their insight into their purchases and behaviors, and that gives retailers the ability to forecast even on the most simplistic level. And I would say then be able to even possibly sell more merchandise. Thomas, would you agree with that?
Yes, I do, Kayla. With these analytics, you can uncover shoppers that hadn't been with you for a while and encourage them to come back. And you can even better predict what should be in stock based on previous trends. As we discussed in previous webinars, it is important to know your loyal customers, what and when they buy. And if we apply the 80-20 rule here, which means in my case that 20% of the repeat customers represent 80% of the sale. Now, I'm a retailer with 10 million in revenue and planning to introduce a new loyalty program. I believe it will create what we call a spectrum shift of 10%, meaning 10% will move from one-time customer bucket over to the repeat customer bucket. This shift has a significant impact on the revenue. In my example, actually $3.7 million in additional revenue. So why not go ahead and adjust your stock and inventory to suit the more profitable customers, and then watch as your entire store existence naturally appeal to more of that same type of customer.
Wow, yeah, great idea applying that 80-20 rule here. And these all are just little touch points into the powerful benefits, not just to the obvious shopper, but to the retail and the brand. And I think now retailers are asking, how do we ensure a successful loyalty program?
Right, yeah, that's a very good question. There can be many elements to a good and successful loyalty program. Think about customer loyalty as friendship. Customers who are also brand advocates will stick with you even when the competition is offering a bigger discount. But what are the factors that play a role in developing a friendship? According to the friendship formula described by Dr. Jack Schafer, there are 4 aspects: proximity, frequency, duration, intensity. Let's see it in the context of a loyalty program. Proximity. In order to be easily reachable by members, a loyalty program should be present on all available channels. So that means the website, social media, on the mobile, and in the store, and even in the customer's daily life. These channels should be seamlessly tied together with an omni-channel strategy. Frequency. One of the big takeaways from customer lifestyle marketing is that true loyalty cannot be formed if people are only engaged when they buy something. So step up and beyond transactions and develop touch points outside the buying circle. Durations. Design your loyalty program with longevity in mind, launch it with a solid MVP, and add some spice later down the line with gamification, customer profiling, and holiday campaigns. A common strategy we have seen is to start out with a more basic loyalty program and then add as you go. Intensity, make sure the incentives are unforgettable. Forget the big discount percentage, forget the big discount amounts. People want experiences. These can be experiential rewards, VIP perks, or special interest groups.
And these are extremely good details on creating a sense of friendship in your loyalty program. But let me ask you, are there any like classic features or even current trends today in loyalty programs?
Yeah, a strong trend in the retail loyalty programs is that the incentives are geared toward making the transaction quicker, easier. We see free shipping, point systems, SKU program, visit-based program, referral program, extended return periods, and vouchers. They are all staples and people love them. The problem is that your competition can easily adapt quickly and offering something similar or exactly the same. You should, however, therefore consider adding a recognition loyalty program, which makes it harder for any other competition to offer the same rewards. So a loyalty program based on tiers is often synonymous with status. Customers will go crazy for the perks associated with the higher levels, like we see in the airline hotel industry. You should also consider rewarding hobbies and values. With help of modern technology, for example, fashion retailers selling sport and fitness apparel in particular are able to reward customers that go for a run via Fitbit or use smart tagging to identify members who's actually wearing the product, like Tommy Hilfiger. Personalization. According to an online survey, over 56% of consumers value personalized offers in the retail shopping experience. And lastly, let me just add here, badges and challenges. These loyalty features are great for driving small but incremental actions. Just like tiers, the badges symbolize status, and while challenges prompt. And we see this in apps like the Untapped app.
And I think so much of consumer behavior and influential purchasing goes right hand in hand with experience, not only as you've discussed, but what we've discussed in the previous e-commerce session a couple weeks ago. Not only does a complicated experience lose a potential sale, it's actually going to lose a potential member. Almost half of surveyed consumers stop a current purchase and then seek competitors for following purchases after a poor experience. And 70% of shoppers would probably never be back with the same online store again. So I think it only makes sense that the program should then be kept simple for not only a seamless experience, but also easy understanding for the customer. And then the biggest program cheerleaders, the staff. They need to understand the details, answer questions, but just also daily promote the membership and rewards.
That's a very valid point, Kayla. Ensuring your staff understand the detail is vital for a successful loyalty program. It is imperative that your employees know what promotion are currently running and how to reward and how to redeem member accounts. The pure execution on the store level can permanently damage your program reputation. And let's not forget what shoppers really want, mobility. 91% of consumers think omnichannel experiences are important, if not critical. Almost 30% think companies should be where I want, when I'm ready, and communicate how I expect.
And I even read a study that 70% of consumers are currently managing their rewards and incentives through a mobile device or on a mobile app. And I even know with my local grocery store, they've had a loyalty program for quite some time, as I admit I signed up many years ago. It's a great place to shop. It's super close to me, but it just doesn't have everything I need to do just that one-stop grocery haul. But a couple years ago, they did launch an app. It allows you to now track your points, see your offers. You can search the weekly ad and select coupons, even go grocery shopping with delivery and pickup options. And just that app convenience alone influences my shopping. Now, when I need to head to the store, I open their app, check my offers, and check out that ad. And since launching it, I've been starting my shopping journey with them when I usually normally have one go-to store to shop at.
Right, it's convenient for you and for the retailer. The data collection takes it one step further by ensuring consumers are receiving relevant information based on their wish list, purchases, which store or channel they shop at the most, and then you can tailor your messaging, your campaign directly to that specific member. It gives you the feeling that you are talking directly with them and you know them.
And I think one of the easiest ways that any retailer can provide this understanding feeling to your program members is just with relevant valued rewards. We all know that frustrated customers not only likely to share their poor experience, but they're almost likely to avoid the same brand. But they're just simply frustrated when they're not recognized as an existing customer. Again, just highlighting that know your customer and the message to them is key. But shoppers are just as frustrated when they're sent an offer for a recently purchased item, and equally as frustrated when the offer is just not relevant to them. And citing that 25% of those loyalty members are going to abandon the program if it doesn't provide any relevant offers. But we do have a flip side because Thomas, you did mention some incentive influential based statistics. And after receiving a reward, 75% of consumers were actually more likely to make another purchase. And then half of those consumers actually share that positive experience, whether it's an online review or directly on their social media channel.
Exactly, Kayla. An easy way to stay relevant is simply to keep your program up to date. Keep the offers current, the incentives relevant to the shoppers, and don't forget to mix up the reward scheme. Keep it creative and engaging. Encourage your customers to make it to the next level, but in a way that's fun for them to continue shopping.
Definitely, Thomas. And before we open it up to some Q&As, I think we should maybe do something a little different and maybe go into some loyalty programs that we've seen or been involved in and that are doing well, and maybe even see why they ranked high on some satisfaction surveys reviewed last year.
Yeah, there's some good different good retailers here with some different loyalty programs. I noticed that you have the REI on here, and I love that shop. It's actually a store next to me here in Manhattan, and I can spend hours in there. But I noticed that you have the event, and under events there's something called garage sales. I've never heard about that. Can you explain that to me?
Yeah, so if you love REI, you're going to love their loyalty program. So they do have some kind of basic loyalty program perks, but as you mentioned, the garage sale. So this is a big sale for their members. It's actually returned merchandise, but instead of REI turning around that returned item to the sales floor, members can find 40 to 60% off regular retail sales prices. And members not only get access to these large discounted items, they don't have to worry about general customer traffic because it's just personal, them members only shopping experience. And REI goes above and beyond that. They definitely take on that experience aspect. They offer outdoor classes and outdoor adventures, some at a very small fee, but most of them are actually no charge at all. And again, it's only available for the members, and then the employees can join if they want, but strictly it's usually about the members. And they also have a selected number of organizations they donate to and volunteer throughout the year. So the program's definitely aligned not only with their brand message, but to the desires of their recreational customers.
Very interesting. Good to know. And another one I noticed is Starbucks. I actually have the Starbucks app on my phone, but I typically just use it, or I actually only use it as a payment option. What am I missing out on with that app?
Another great example, and many like you, Thomas, not aware of the fun and benefits that pair up with this loyalty program and app. So they've actually had a big loyalty program membership for quite some time. I'd even had downloaded the app on a previous phone, but never re-downloaded it again when I upgraded their devices. But I actually am thinking about it from looking at the revamp that they did a couple weeks ago. So mid to end April, if you launch the app since then, you'll notice that it's not only got a new user interface, there's new levels and new tiers with different perks. So the higher you are in the tiers, the quicker you redeem your stars. In Starbucks case, it's stars and not points. But at just 25 stars, you can redeem a perk, and every dollar equals 2 stars. So that's so encouraging to make it to the next reward. And then the higher the level, the better the benefit. So the more stars you earn, you get free drinks, free food items, even some free at home coffee, or even the merchandise items. So just logging into the app gives you perks, a free refill. Sometimes you'll even get bonus star days, like triple and double bonus stars. So they still have areas where they can improve, but this is definitely a great example of them doing a lot of things right and improving from where they started the program back in 2010. And I would also like to point out that when they did launch in 2010, Starbucks immediately saw a huge increase in customer transaction frequency and ticket size.
I see. Well, that's good to know. I have a couple of more I would like to ask you about. So the next one is actually Sephora, and next to me here, the building over there is a Sephora, and believe it or not, no judgment, I have actually been in a Sephora, and there's always a lot of people. So tell me what's so special about their loyalty program.
This program is definitely designed to make their members feel very important and very special to the brand. They have a simple point scheme for the members to easily calculate their reward value, but they also send a very professional editorial-like newsletter to their members, giving them great advice on makeup tutorials, celebrity artist trends, insights into upcoming product launches, and the member-only events they have going on. And those product launches are not just the big name brand products. Sephora makes limited edition exclusive makeup sets just for their members. So you can't buy that in a store or through any reseller. It's a member only reward. So with their newsletters, limited edition products, exclusive events, Sephora makes their members feel VIP.
Great. And it ties back to what we were saying before about the special events. It's not always about a big discount or big dollar off. Special event is what it attracts the customers here.
Absolutely.
The Michael Kors, I have a couple of questions here. I see they're offering points. I didn't expect that for a high luxury store like that or company like that, but I noticed that you had surprise full-size gifts. What does that mean?
Yeah, Michael Kors is a perfect way to show that just because you're a high-end luxury retailer doesn't mean you can't offer a loyalty program too. So their program is aligned with their brand of being a luxurious status. So not only are their tiers labeled accordingly, studio, backstage, runway, red carpet, but the benefits align as well, ranging from free shipping and early access to sales, but private stylists and even private shopping appointments. And they even have exclusive experiences that you can only find the details of if you're in that club level. So, and as you mentioned, the member gifts that help them feel luxurious. So with loyalty programs, it's more common to find items being sample or trial sizes, which is a great strategy to encourage customers to try new products that you may be offering. But Michael Kors, on the other hand, wanted to continue to make their members feel so important. So you receive an email with some special instructions on how to follow and redeem your gift in store. This way the staff presents the item to you. It feels so personal, and it's a surprise because it's a full-sized retail item, and that can range from a wallet to a phone case, a pair of shoes, sunglasses. They've even gifted their watches, purses, and totes. So again, the higher ranked tier, the more likely you are to receive one of those higher value items. But Michael Kors has done a phenomenal way on making their customers feel like they're the #1 client.
So great update there. There's a lot of creative ideas across many different segments in the retail industry. So whether you already have a loyalty program, revamping one or starting one out, it's our advice that you research your competition, of course, and see how they do it. But don't forget to look at other segments in the retail industry. They have a lot of creative ideas and you can copy some of them. Is that a fair statement, Kayla?
Oh, definitely fair. And just as you said, they have creative schemes and perks, and that can be used in formulating your ideas. So see what the recent high-ranked industry programs are doing right. What have they changed, if anything, from when they originally launched? And you can even find some retailers will share their ROI evidence from implementing or just revamping their existing program. And this is a topic that I could, and we probably both could go on and on about. But to sum it up, so we can kind of get into some Q&As with the few minutes we have left, we can't stress it enough. Just know your customers, reach out to your audience. I think we can all agree the only thing consistent is things are going to change, but stay creative and have fun. Keep it simple and align it with your brand. These are all powerful trickle effects that impact overall business and features your customers have been asking for, not to mention relevant to the current situation, which, much like our next session on contactless curbside pickup. So before we see you there May 21st, we're going to hand it over to Suzanne for any of the questions that have come in.
Yeah, thanks. We do have some questions, and I also want to just point everybody to the chat pane. I did include a link there where you can register for our next Tribe Talk coming up on the 21st. First question that came in was, what are the key requirements, key things I need to consider when looking at loyalty software?
Oh, that's a good one. So if I could make a few points, Thomas, I think mobility, what you said earlier, Thomas, that I mean is key. We already saw that 91% of people, want it mobile, and 70% of people are already tracking it that way. So make sure it has that mobility. And I think also make sure that it's benefiting more than one customer. You have many levels of customers and they all should be rewarded that way. That's off the top of my head, that's what I could think.
Yeah, and another point, it should work across all platforms. That
Mhm.
is what we demand these days.
Excellent. Thank you both for that response. The next question that came in is, how quickly can I deploy a loyalty program?
That's a good one. So you can actually deploy a loyalty program in a couple of days. Like we mentioned earlier, start out very simple and then build on it. By collecting just the customer's data information and the purchasing history will give you a lot of insight in what the trends are. So I would say in a couple of days, you can be up and running in having a basic loyalty system in place.
Well, that's amazing. That's very fast. I love the idea of starting small and building on a good foundation. Those are all the questions we have at this time. So I'll let you wrap it up, Kayla.
Perfect. So thank you again for joining us. Our next session is May 21st on contactless curbside pickup. So feel free to join us there, and feel free to reach out to Thomas or myself. Our emails are displayed at the bottom. We can answer any questions, provide any additional information, or just have a conversation about what's going on. So feel free to reach out. Thank you for joining.
Thanks, everyone. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you, Thomas and Kayla.
Thank you.